John didn't win the nomination for reasons completely unrelated to his indiscretion. And during the campaign, I knew I had a very, very limited idea of what had happened a single night, and I thought that the likelihood that would affect his presidency, were he to win the nomination and to win the election, was probably pretty slim, actually. I've already been known as somebody who is fairly open about most parts of my life, and so it wasn't out of character with what I'd done in the past for me to be open about.
Are you glad you did?
In some ways, it's frustrating because the book has a real message to say. And before many people had ever read it, they had an assumption that I was beating up my husband or beating up some other person, and none of that is what the book is about. And so I've spent a lot of time sort of yanking people, into the bookstore to get the book and read what it really tries to say.
Can I ask you a question about health care?
Yes, please.
Yeah, right. Well, wait till I ask,
Okay.
because it was so much on this program, and when we talk about health care, involves people saying there needs to be less of an investment at the end of life in health care.
I don't agree that we spend too much at the end of life. I spoke to the National Hospice and Palliative Care Organization, and these are people who are trying to make those sometimes years, but usually months, more bearable for people who are in end stages of a terminal disease. I think it's a measure of us, honestly, whether we're going to abandon those people. When Oregon tried several years ago, I think, to prioritize their healthcare spending, diseases that were hard to cure or things that were going to be terminal anyway got very short shrift.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we have to analyze what it is we stand for. If we stand for saving a buck? Sure. If we stand for real health care and the dignity of a human being, then that's not a good choice for us.
I'll just ask this straight out. Did Oprah have the guts to ask you a question about health care?
No, Oprah did not ask me anything about health care.
Did anyone on your tour?
No, I have to admit that you are the first person to ask me about health care. Now, I do have opportunities to talk about health care and blog about health care. So I haven't felt like that, deprived of the opportunity. Particularly right now is a pretty important time as insurance companies are starting to cave on some things in order to get what they would, a package they'd like to see in the end. Pretty important to be speaking up now.
Well, I'm glad we're set apart from the rest of the media. Thank you, Elizabeth.